Hello and welcome to Top of the World. Am I struggling today with the light and the sun and everything that's going on? Is the lighting appalling? Yeah, we're going to move to somewhere more stable at the moment, but yesterday I was supposed to have an appointment and the appointment was cancelled because there was a fire, and the result of the water to extinguish the fire damaged the surgery where I had my appointment, so it's been rescheduled for weeks in the future. But as I was suffering with the disappointment of that, every once in a while, probably more often than most, the good Lord, he shines his little light around me and he says, well, we'll make your day a little better if you're prepared to do a little bit of work. Right. Did me and my Sarah lose our fingers and our toes and our ears and our nose doing the work to gather some really useful items that we need? It would appear so. And that light shone down yesterday. Every once in a while it shines down, but is that because I'm out and about, or is that just because I had a bad day? Did I have a bad day? No, it could have been worse. The surgery could have taken place. Probably would have given me a worse day. Anyway, so this is the result of not dumpster diving. That's what this is a result of. And yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. How did I know it was going to be amazing? Well, by the assortment of different stuff. But generally, right, and this has only been applicable since I've been here, when you dive in somewhere and you find welded key rings with keys like this, right, you know it's going to be a good day because the stuff surrounding keys like this is probably going to come from an era that was well made. Yeah. What are these? Well, they're Swedish door keys, because our history here in the north is in the present. So you would expect to find these in antique shops and stuff. No, they're just still hanging out front doors. Do I have keys like this which I need to open certain houses? Oh yeah, yeah. So, keys. I'll give you a closer look. We're going to move out of this bad light. But this is a collection of stuff I found yesterday. I thought moving over there would, but it's not going to be. The light is just, anyway, it's bad this morning. The sun's come up over the horizon because we're now mid-February. And anyway, so what should I be doing? Well, I should be on cupboards today. Right, so this is interrupting another video that I'm in the middle of with regards to all of that. Which would be really bad if I showed this video before that. Anyway, so, what a collection. Right, let me show you one of the things I'm quite excited about. Right, this is stamped with the Swedish crown, right, Swedish made, cast aluminium, it's a coat hanger. Well, why are you excited about that, Simon? Because it's proper, right? It's well made. I can screw that onto a wall, right? That's going to be there in 100 years. It's great. Just what I need for me new. And I've got another one of those. Right. Now, I do have a jar with all these things in. But that is exactly... Anyway, so, things and things. Strange but true. Why can I not buy a well-made wire brush anymore? Why are they all rubbish? I don't know. I don't know why they're rubbish. So in amongst my treasures, I have two paint scrapers, right, with the old style razor blade in, one with a hand. Anyway, again, right, I've had one. all the renovation works I've been doing for the last 8 years, I've done on the same one, which is getting quite worn out. These, have they had much use? No. No, they really haven't had much use. So why have you collected all this, Simon? Well, I have several tractors, different buildings, I have a service van, and I have my shop, and I have one set of tools. And I have to keep... So, it's just a small hammer, down a toolbox, circlip pliers, sprung-loaded circlip pliers. An additional 2 pairs of pliers. Like that one, arguably. I mean, that's new. It's just new. West Germany. Pliers. Why? I don't know why it's pink. Okay? I don't know why it's pink. I have 1 pair of these. Now I have 2. And they're old. And... they'll be useful for another building. Metal shears. I have 2 pairs of these, just like these, right, that are broken. They're no use. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. If that ain't a good quality pair. Midwest, made in the USA. If that ain't a quality pair of tin snips, I don't know what is. Yeah, it's even got a number on it. Look at that. That's just quality. Anyway, so that's 4. 5. Midwest, made in the USA. Yep. So, I now have 5 pairs of tin snips. More than I'll ever need, but more than I've got. Look at that. And good quality. So none of this stuff I can see has got made in China on it, or would have come from China. It's Swedish made, American made, and English made. All of it. Everything that's on here either comes from Sweden, England, or America, or West Germany. 5 pairs of tin snips. All for free. These... can even hear them cutting. 2 pairs of heavy duty scissors. All for the toolbox. Pliers, well, there's another little pair of pliers there. Do you know, these look like a pair my dad had. Anyway, there's no markings on them. Right. Some of you will know what these are, and some of you will not. Now I have 1 pair, just like this, come from Bill Teamer, just like this did. Right. And I have to makeshift with everything else. That's been welded. Well, that makes me feel a lot better about my welding. Now I have a small one and another one the same size. So I have been makeshifting when I've been welding, when I've needed these. So these are going straight on my welding table. So they've been thawing out because this lot was all frozen. So exciting, I can't even tell you. Screwdrivers. Screwdrivers, screwdrivers, screwdrivers. Another pair of pliers. That might need a bit of lubrication. Couple of flatheads, a very small posi, 2 big flatheads, proper screwdrivers. Screwdrivers that you can hit with a hammer without it shattering. Or dropping on the floor without it breaking. Screwdrivers, extra screwdrivers in extra toolboxes for extra places. That's what we need. And then there's a couple of pairs that have seen better days. Right, Scale Master, made in Sweden. But, to be honest, with a bit of WD, that one's good. With a bit of WD, they will be just perfect. chisels. Chisels that haven't been used on metal, concrete or wood with nails in. Extra chisels are always good. That's a cheap one, that's a better quality one. This is top quality, made of old steel. Can't actually see what the name on that one is. That might be a mixture of the really bad light or it's got a picture of a fish on it. Anyway, we'll put them through my machine and put new edges on them and add them to our collection. 3 chisels. A brand new, still in its Biltema hanging thing, 10mm spanner. Brand new. There's a couple of pairs of adjustable wrenches, both of which need a bit of oiling. Both pairs are made in Sweden. Right. Good quality steel then. So we'll give these a little oiling down and add those into our collection. There's a Swedish spanner. Yep, Swedish made, 24-27mm. The gift that keeps on giving. Now, we've got another pair of this. This is actually, this is probably going back from where it is. It's got a thing jammed in it, which means it's missing the bolt. And I've got several pop rivet guns. There is another one. There we go. See, that's actually quite a good quality. That's actually quite a good quality one there. Made in Japan. Well, that's the first. Okay, that one can probably, Ironside, doesn't say where that one's made, but that can probably go back to where it came from. That one we might clean up and hang on to. We got a number of wire wheels. Really expensive, and they are now, especially the brass wire wheels. So these will go straight into our collection. I don't have one this size, I have smaller ones. So that's a bonus, that's just money right there. And on that subject, there is in here a brand new steel cut-off wheel, which all of these will go straight onto my pegboard with all my wheels on. So that's just, for me, that's just money. I have to buy these regularly all the time. Another thing I have to buy a lot of, paintbrushes. Good quality paintbrush, that. And it's perfect. Knives. I just got a couple of extra. They're good for having out in the woodshed. Another pair of pliers. Another knife. Mora. Right, this, most of the knives here are Mora. This is interesting. Now I'm pretty sure this is for breaking glass, toughened glass, because of the way it is. Anyway, it's a nice handy little tool that. It's one I don't have, one I do have now. Another handy tool, right, is a Torx in a hand held Pro Builder T9 to T40. It's got all the various Torx sizes in there. Very useful. Don't have one of those. Don't have one of those. I have to have my little bits and then a socket set and stuff like that. So really handy. Probably something that I wouldn't have spent my hard-earned money on because I could have managed another way. But really, really, really useful. And again, right, beautiful little socket set there. It's not socket set, it's just a ratchet and a small bar. Meek Tools. Anyway, I don't have one of those either. So, very happy about that. And there's a Leatherman type thing, but I don't know if it's actually broken or seized. Oh, seized. It's not a Leatherman, but it's that type of thing. I don't have one of these either, but it's worth squirting a bit of WD-40 on and having it in one of my toolboxes. Now, how excited am I about this? Does it work? Don't know. Haven't yet put the compressor on it and put it on a compressor, but we can. We can. And the chisel is, well, that's seen better days, but that's all right because I can fix all that. But I've needed one of these several times, and again, it's not a Swedish one. It's not one I would have gone out and bought because I couldn't justify the money because I only need it occasionally. So, well made up about that. We have yet another square work light LED for one of the vehicles, one of the tractors. I'm going to put this in the box over there with all my other LEDs for the new red tractor, the forest tractor. It's still in its shed at the moment. I haven't woken it up, but when I do, we'll be adding new lights. So this is a box of LED lights that have been sent to me. I'm going to pop it up there. Lights. I've also got 4 of these. Now these are quite cheap LED lights. However, they are LED lights and they might work. And lights is something we need a lot of here because, as you know, we're in darkness for a lot of the time. So we've got those. There is a rasp there, which I have plenty of, but not enough to put. Feels new. Okay. New. Oh, there's another very small flathead screwdriver there. Hand tools. I think we're getting towards the end of hand tools. Doors. Okay, this is kind of fascinating. I can't quite remember. These go over hinges. If you know what that's for, pop it down in the comments. But they go over hinges. Door hinges. But I've never used one. But I have seen them before. Yeah. Tell me what that is for, exactly. Quarter of a tube of Autosol, if you don't know what that's for. Do I have any use for this at the moment? No. But I will do one day in the future. Right, my 1960s, 70s muscle truck, right, is coming my way one day, and when it does, I'm going to need the Autosol. Random brand new in its packet belt. I'll put that on the wall because, as some of you have seen, when I got a belt go, I got, I don't know, 50, 100 various belts that I can pick through for different lengths and the machines. So, it doesn't have a use right now, but I'll hang it on the wall. And brand new in their packets, there is 2 9 to 13 millimetre or half-inch hose clamps and some tiny seals. Not sure what they're for, but they won't hurt. It's a wheel brace of some description for something. Anyway, probably useful to put in the toolbox. The same as I use 3-phase socket on aluminium plate for a machine. We'll put that on the shelf. Brand new in their packets. A random hinge and stick. Put that in my hinge drawer. Have I got a use for that? Yeah. Looks like it might be good for straining diesel. Do I have a problem with flaky paint out of my cans getting into my diesel? Yes, I do. Is that very likely to solve that problem? Yes, it is. In that case, it's a good thing, right? Can't think of a use for those. Or not one we can discuss, anyway. Another random clip. Right, always useful to have. An exhaust clamp. Hang that with all the other exhaust clamps I've collected. 45 crowns. That is a brand new trailer power outlet. Aluminium. I have an immediate use for that. Okay, over here we've got 3 random clamps. One of them's got a bit of surface rust on them. All of them will have a wipe down with WD and hang up with all my other clamps. Right, because we use clamps all the time for everything. Free. Not quite sure. Certainly got a good battery terminal on it, which was also free. Haven't tested that, but there's a good chance that probably doesn't work. Yeah. So, we're getting into some other stuff now. A Shaw half-ton block and tackle. Who doesn't need one of them in their life? So I've got a few blocks and tackles. All of them are big, but they're still useful for picking up snow machines, removing engines, blah, 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 blah. Do I have one this small? No. Not only is it good for lifting things up, it's good for pulling things out. Bodywork, control arms, anything that you've managed to bend whilst driving your tractor into a tree stump, for example. Anyway, really useful and smaller and lightweight for me to be able to put into one of the tractor toolboxes. That's just a saucepan that had stuff in it. That is an oil filter for an Opel something or other. I don't know, we'll look up the number. W712/6. Really useful, we don't need that. New in their packets. Bulb socket and plug socket for the hanging lights. Not something that you see a lot outside of Scandinavia, to be honest. And in there are 2 brand new brake cables for push bikes. Have I got half a dozen push bikes in the shed that all came from not dumpster diving, but need brake cables. Oh yeah. Now, made in England. It's a pump, diaphragm pump. For those of you who've been around for a long time, you'll know we fitted a diaphragm pump in the cellar to transfer between my overflow tank and the main heating system, and we also use it to add glycol or change the glycol mix, and that works great. Do I have a backup for when it doesn't work anymore? Now I do. Does this work? Oh yeah. Have I tested this? Oh yeah. It works just fine. So again, right, it's made in England, this one. It's a leisure pump, so it has a power shut off, so I would have said it was probably for the similar application, RV type sink shower pump. Really useful as a backup, because I don't have a backup. I grabbed this because I kind of like the design, but the globe was smashed. But can I find somewhere junky to hang that up? Yeah, and it's all aluminium. Does it work? Well, I haven't plugged it in. The wiring is a bit, but there's nothing not to work on it. So, and now we're into. I've got this, right, which is a bit rubbish handheld LED, and it comes with a battery, but it needs a specific charger for it. So if it was to work, it would probably be quite a handy, albeit it's quite gimmicky. But I don't have any kind of charger for it. So I'm not quite sure whether I can find another charger to go with it, but it would be quite handy. It's not really... Anyway. Okay, now power tools. Power tools, power tools, power tools. I don't have polisher grinder. Right, I don't. I'm assuming this has got, so I could get other things for it. So the one I've got, I had to make up, which was a plug-on thing. It's a firm, so it's a generic Chinese thing. It would be really nice if that worked. And it's been thawed out overnight, so I think I'm in a position to want to plug this in and see if it actually works, because I've got a couple of things coming up, and that would be really useful for by way of polishing paint or grinding on paint ready for a repaint. I've nearly bought one of these several times. So this, whilst it's branded Biltema, it's a Dremel, or it's a Dremel knockoff. Now I have all the Dremel tools that go in the end of this, but I don't have one of these. So I have to put the tools, when I'm using it, into a normal battery driver. So it would be really nice if that worked, and it looks like it hasn't been used. Inspection lamp, something I don't have. It's a bit rough, but it might work. And then there's a small saw. I'm not quite sure where I am with that. The wiring's quite bad on that, but I would like to plug these in and see if they work. Oh, see what goes bang and what doesn't go bang. Oh, it has a light on it. And it's variable speed. It's got a variable speed controller. Let's turn it to max and see what happens. Right. Well, that's the result. I don't know how much one of those costs, but it's not something I would have spent the money on. I just wouldn't have done the job. Nice. Huge result for me, that is. I can't believe this isn't going to work. Doesn't look like it's been used at all. Variable speed. And just switch it on. No way. Wow. I'd like to have bought one of these, and I have looked at it several times. I could just never justify it. And I found one for free. Looks like brand new. Okay, like this. I used to have 3 or 4 or 5 of these. And there was a lot of stuff, I'm sure I've said this before, there was a lot of stuff packed into certain containers that never arrived. We got robbed so badly. There was a robbery at my warehouse in the first instance. Inside, somebody that worked for me stole things that we didn't know about necessarily until after the fact, because there was anyway. And then we got robbed blind at Gothenburg at the ports. They were bringing a lorry over. They destroyed the lorry on the boat. Everything had to be transferred from our lorry, firstly into, because it was middle of winter, into a warehouse, and then transferred onto another lorry, and a lot, probably somewhere in the region of 1 million crowns, 1 million Swedish crowns worth of stuff was stolen, destroyed. Anyway, all my welders were stolen, and a lot of my mechanical tools and stuff were stolen. The only stuff that wasn't stolen was which is what was actually in the van on the way here. So by the time we finally got our goods that were being shipped, you know, and it was devastating, because a lot of furniture, most of it was my Sarah's, and it just looked like they'd actually driven over her microwave in a tractor or forklift and still put it on the lorry. And anyway, we had a lot of stuff destroyed. So, and they're the same make as the one I had. Anyway, let's plug it in. Let's plug it in. Is that the right plug? It's old. Is there a switch? Clean up that glass a little. It's just an inspection lamp, it's nothing special. Right, but I don't have one. You know me, I'm always running around with head torches on, because I wouldn't justify buying one of these again. I don't even know if you can get them. Do you know what's kind of weird and fascinating at the same time? I'm looking at this. This has got a sticker of a central heating pump on it. Right, I kid you not. Just like the one we've just replaced. How weird is that? I can't even explain that. Anyway, inspection lamp. It just works. I'm just having my best day, I am. Right, now this, I'm a bit reluctant. If anything's going to go bang and not work, it's going to be this. The wiring on this is... well, let's see. Nothing's gone bang. Don't sound its best, but it does go round. And it appears to be going round in the right direction. So we'll have a little look into this. It's quite a small one. We'll have a little look into that, but we will have to replace the wiring. Hey, is this any good? I don't know, but I've only got the one of them. So, there you go. How amazing is that? So some of it has got to go back in the bins, but is there anything here? You kind of remove that. That saw and that are a bit, but everything else, the tools are certainly fine to use for. These are questionable, especially as they've got no wires coming off of them. Not quite sure about that. Nothing else is questionable. Everything else is common sense. So the new stuff just goes straight onto the rack. All the tools, they get covered in a bit of WD, put in the various toolboxes. Now I can distribute them between other things. The coat rack, obviously that's going on the wall over there, because it's like the best thing since sliced bread, and I've got all extra wheels and stuff that I don't have to buy, which I'm using all the time. And I'll add my collection of mammoth keys, because I did say that I would show you these. I'll add these collection of mammoth keys to my collection. Why are you collecting mammoth keys, Simon? Well, I don't make them anymore. Right, also, there's many doors, barn doors, house doors, that still have these locks that the keys have been lost for. So I know a barn right now, right, 2 of the doors you can only open from inside because they don't have any keys. Well, there's only so many keys they made. And there's some more, 2 more different keys. Right, and yeah, there's still doors and locks with. Our history is in our present here in the north. Not a lot of things change, and a lot of things come here late compared to the rest of the world, and they're still operational. And if you've got a big lock that a man made with his hands in a door and it has a key, then you don't really need to change it, in my opinion. Anyway, absolute gift, another distraction from what I'm supposed to be doing. I've got to get back onto my cupboards. I'm going to distribute all this, oil it up, clean it up, put it away where it needs to be, and move on. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining me. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.